What's up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome to the Warframe video. So today we're going to be going over some plans for the next couple of days for videos, and we're also going to be talking about the next frame, or rather next prime access to be vaulted in December, which, you know, we had Nezha Prime come out on October 27th, which was about 2 weeks ago at this point. So might as well look ahead to what is potentially coming in December, most likely, because DE wants to get that Christmas money, to be honest. They're supposed to leave the Prime Accesses around for 3 months, and since Nezha came out at the end of October, it would mean that you would probably see the next Prime, which is predicted to be Octavia Prime, in January, but I do think they're going to cut Nezha Prime short to get that holiday money. Honestly, I would not be surprised in the slice if they cut it short a little bit, guys. Alright, so let's go over it, and I'm going to talk about some of the public test cluster stuff that's going to be happening in the future. Okay. Let's start with the next vaulting. So we actually have it all equipped right now. The next prime to get vaulted is going to be Equinox Prime. We're also going to have the weapons, the Stradivar Prime, which is the primary, and we're going to have the Thibodeau Prime melee, both vaulted as well. And these are not really exactly meta weapons because, I mean, staff weapons aren't phenomenal, and the Thibodeau is not a polearm, it is a staff. It is probably the best staff in the game, but yeah, staff weapons aren't phenomenal. So if you want to get that one, go for it. The relics, I mean, it will probably never be an expensive weapon. Then we've also got the Stradivar Prime, which I still do like, to be honest, but that's mostly because it has pretty high Riven stats. But yeah, this thing, nothing to write home about. It feels really weak. If you look at the damage these bullets do on this weapon, the full auto shot, let's just compare it to something like the Stalta, I guess. The primary shot on the Stalta does 22 more damage, and it has a worse critical multiplier, to be fair, but this is actually status focused on the Stalta's primary fire. So, and the alt fire, I mean, it's an explosion shot versus a non-explosive shot. So the Stalta, the secondary shot on the Stradivar Prime is doing 80 damage, and it becomes semi-auto. So yeah, this thing, I think it looks kind of cool at least, but yeah, honestly, they've actually nerfed the Rivens for this thing, funny enough. So. It's got 3-dot dispo now, and yeah, people don't even want to buy ribbons for it a lot of times. So there's that. And then we've got Equinox Prime, which is actually a very useful frame. It is not as meta as it used to be back in the day because now you can't fully stack 4 corrosive projections to fully remove enemy armor. And Equinox's 4th ability in day form, which is called Maim, it does get affected by armor a little bit. You can still kill a bunch of stuff with this, so it's not a big deal. But I'm just saying, back in the day when you could stack 4 corrosive projections, this would nuke down Grenier like nobody's business. But yeah, Equinox is actually a really nice frame because it has multiple builds that are really good. We have Quiver subsumed on here for reasons. Previous Duality Equinox video. A Sleep build's really good. The Duality Metamorphosis Clone build is really good. You can make a slowing tank build with Night Form 4, and then Day Form 4 is a really good enemy destroyer with the 4. You can also do some power strength buffing too. Like, Equinox has lots of uses, and I actually do recommend that you get Equinox Prime before they get vaulted, because another thing, and the reason why I think Equinox Prime potentially could be expensive in the future, guys, is because farming normal Equinox is actually a gigantic pain in the butt. And you know why that is? Because when you build normal Equinox, if you've ever farmed Equinox, you know what I'm about to talk about here. You need to do this boss fight like 50 times. Because the way it works is if you've ever built a normal Warframe from a boss fight, you know, you kill the boss and it drops a part. And the Warframes have a helmet, a system, and a chassis. And then the blueprint. Well, when we're talking about Equinox, we've actually got 2 frames you gotta build. You gotta build you gotta build Equinox Day Form, you gotta build Equinox Night Form, and you gotta put them both together. So, a lot of people probably aren't even gonna want to deal with that, and they're just gonna want to get Equinox Prime, which is definitely a lot less of a headache. And Equinox Equinox Prime on PC, let's just check Warframe Market real quick for that price. I'm gonna guess it's 50 plat, maybe even less. Let's see, Equinox Prime set on PC, it is 32 plat right now, guys. So, yeah, you can either fight a boss that takes like 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more, like 30, 40 times, maybe even 50 times, or you can pay them 32 plat, someone who farmed it already, the Prime version. So, how does that sound to you? Potentially could go up in price once the relics are vaulted, but there are so many relics in the wild, I wouldn't really particularly worry about it. And let's move on to the other thing. Okay, so that's what's getting vaulted. Let's talk about what will probably be the new Prime. I think it will be Octavia Prime, like I mentioned earlier. Because they go in chronological order, male, male, female, female frames, and Octavia Prime is most likely next in line. And when Octavia was released, she actually came out with the Tenora, which is a full auto assault rifle with 2 firing modes. And she also came with the Pandero, which is a basically a revolver pistol. Maybe not a revolver, but it has an alt fire where it fans the hammer. And this thing actually is really, really strong. So Pandero Prime could be really godly. So keep an eye on that. Unfortunately, they come out with 0.5 disposition ribbons, which would mean the ribbons will be really low stats. So expect a ribbon like this with critical damage, and expect the stats to get cut in half, pretty much. But you know, it could be pretty good. That is a guess, of course, and I do think it will come out in late December. They're not going to miss out on that holiday money, guys. People aren't going to be really buying Nezha Prime Access in December. They're going to be buying the new stuff, and Nezha Prime will not be new in December. So keep that in mind. I think they're not going to want to miss out on it. Pushing out in January would be a bit weird. All right, and let's go over the final thing about the public test cluster. I know you guys thought I was just being a whiny baby yesterday with my opinion on the public test cluster, but you know, to each their own. If I don't like to see spoilers for my favorite games, that's on me. And you know what? This is my channel with my opinions. If you don't like it, I appreciate your feedback, all right? But what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to... I have someone in the... I don't think they're going to let me into the public test cluster, is what I'm trying to say. I entered the lottery thing to get put into it. I'm not a Warframe partner, so I don't automatically get thrown in there. They're going to let me know tomorrow if I get into the public test cluster. If I don't get into the public test cluster... I have someone on my Discord server, Mega Ninja. He just offered to basically go through the entire public test cluster and like let me know. Like he'll basically screenshot and record stuff for me, so I can show you guys what the new Teshin store is going to have. We'll see exactly what we're saving that Steel Essence for. We're going to be able to see the new Infested Kit Gun stats. We're going to be able to see some other things like that. So yeah, keep an eye on videos on the channel coming out next couple of days with potential spoilers. I'm probably not going to go over the new Deimos bounties because, you know, I think people should just be able to experience that for themselves the first time. At least that's what I want to do. But if you want to see the stats for the new weapons, the stats for, or rather what Teshin's store has in stock for us, maybe even see how that, how much Steel Essence the Acolytes is dropping, keep an eye out on the channel. And if for some miracle I get put into the test cluster, keep an eye on the Twitch channel, and I will be streaming it, and we will be seeing how bad the Steel Essence nerf actually is. Man, I really hope it's not that bad. Either way, guys, I'll talk to you guys next time. Hopefully this video is helpful to you, and yeah, thanks for supporting the channel. Yo, by the way, 20,000 subs on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, honestly. I will keep up the videos. I will keep up the content. I will keep being uncensored and not dissuaded by people saying you're being too negative. Guys, this is how I feel. If you don't like how I feel, like I said, you can give me your feedback, but trust me, I'll listen to what you have to say, but I am me at the end of the day. I don't take orders from anybody. I'm going to say how I feel. I'm going to give constructive feedback. I'm going to give harsh criticism, and I'm going to try to make sure that you are the best Warframe player that you can be if you're watching the channel, and keep you up to date on everything. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for the support. I really, really appreciate it. Let's go for 20,000 more at least. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.